Pixar, Disney, and DreamWorks have been secretly hiding tiny details, crazy Easter eggs, and dark theories in your favorite movies for years, and most people completely missed them. From hidden clues to shocking secrets that change everything, here are 10 details that'll make you see these films in a whole new way. Let's get into it. Number 1. The mud that was never there. Cars. Pixar. Are you ready to have your childhood ruined? Because this one Cars scene has been hiding a secret for 20 years, and once you see it, you can never unsee it. Look closely at the famous mud scene. McQueen's face is covered in mud. But here's the thing. There is no mud puddle anywhere on the ground. Go ahead, pause it. Look frame by frame. Nothing. At first, you might think Sally opened her trunk and threw it. But Sally is not just any car. She is a Porsche 911 Carrera Type 996, which means that area behind her is the engine lid and pop-up spoiler. There is no trunk, physically impossible. So, Pixar forgot the mud puddle? Maybe. But here's why that feels wrong. They remembered to show the rear section opening. They animated that detail perfectly, but somehow forgot where the mud came from. That doesn't sound like an accident. That sounds intentional. Because exactly 14 years later, in 2020, during COVID, when meme culture exploded, everyone on the internet asked the same question at the same time. If there's no mud on the ground, was that actually mud? Pixar didn't forget. Pixar predicted the meme. Number 2, Nintendo hid these characters inside the Mario movie. Are you ready to have your childhood upgraded? Because the Super Mario Galaxy movie was hiding way more than you realized, and most people completely missed it. Fox McCloud from Star Fox doesn't just appear in the background. He plays a surprisingly important role in the actual story. Then, if you look carefully at the Gateway Galaxy information desk, you'll spot Rob, the robot, quietly working there. But it gets wilder. During one moment, a group of Pikmin emerge from a tiny spaceship. Blink and you miss it. And then, during the final battle against Dry Bowser and Bowser Jr., Luigi actually draws and summons Mr. Game & Watch, the classic mascot from Nintendo's old handheld games, to fight 4 different Nintendo universes. One movie, hidden in plain sight. But here's the part that shocked me. Even with all of this, Miyamoto reportedly confirmed this is not the start of a Nintendo cinematic universe. No Smash Bros. Setup, no grand crossover plan. According to him, these characters were included simply because Nintendo and Illumination thought it would be fun. The same way crossover characters randomly appear in Mario Kart. They hid 4 secret characters in a blockbuster movie just for fun, just because they could. Number 3, Maui didn't just move the ocean. He stole fire from a goddess. You think you know Maui's story? You don't, because the mythology behind Moana is darker, smarter, and more clever than anything in the movie, and they barely scratch the surface. In real Polynesian mythology, Maui actually stole fire from the gods, and the way he did it? Absolutely unhinged. One night, Maui secretly extinguished every single torch and flame in the entire village. Everyone. Complete darkness, complete crisis. The next morning, his mother said someone had to go ask Mahuika, the goddess of fire, for fire back. Maui volunteered, because Mahuika was his grandmother. Now here's where it gets insane. Mahuika lived deep inside a volcanic cave at the edge of the world. She gave Maui a burning fingernail as fire. He put it out. She gave him another. He put that one out too. Again and again and again, until she threw every single one of her fingernails at him in pure rage. Maui turned into a hawk and fled, and in her fury, Mahuika hurled her final nail. It missed him, but set the nearby trees on fire. That's exactly what Maui wanted. He brought the burning wood back to the village and taught humans to make fire by rubbing wood together. From that moment on, humans never needed the gods again. He didn't just steal fire. He freed humanity from depending on the gods, and he did it by getting his grandmother angry enough to accidentally teach him. Drop a if this just rewrote Moana for you. Number 4. That time, all of Teen Titans became Robin at once. This is one of the most underrated episodes in cartoon history, and if you missed it, your childhood has a hole in it. So Robin lost a fight against Katara. Bad enough. So he did what Robin does. He left the team, said he wouldn't come back until he found the master of mixed martial arts, and disappeared. Then, Beast Boy found Robin's spare uniforms. He put one on, started pretending to be the Beast Boy wonder. Cape, mask, everything. Starfire caught him, and instead of stopping him, she put on a Robin uniform too. Then Cyborg walked in, got annoyed they were doing it without him, and he became Robin as well. 3 Robins, riding Robin's motorcycle around the tower. Then, Raven threw on a uniform. Even Silky Loki got a mask, the silkworm, in a Robin mask, 4 titans and a silkworm all cosplaying as Robin simultaneously. And then the real Robin walked in and caught all of them. His reaction? He didn't blame them, because honestly, the mask does make you feel cool. Even Robin admitted it. Subscribe if you would have put the uniform on too. Number 5. Toothless was never raiding Burke. He was protecting it. This changes everything about how to train your dragon. And I can't believe it took me this long to notice. Watch the raid scenes closely. Every other dragon is hypnotized, hunting sheep, stealing livestock, doing exactly what the Red Death commands. That's every dragon, except Toothless. Toothless never takes a single thing from the village, not once. The only things he ever targets during raids are the catapults, the weapons, the things that could injure other dragons. He wasn't raiding Burke. He was protecting his kind while pretending to raid Burke. This night fury that the entire village feared, that Hiccup was terrified to even approach, was secretly the most morally conscious creature in the entire franchise. Years before Hiccup ever showed up with a drawing in the sand, Toothless wasn't the villain they thought he was. He wasn't even close. He was playing both sides to keep dragons alive. Drop a dragon if this just reframed the whole first movie for you. 6. Mirage didn't just betray Mr. Incredible, she helped kill his friends. Most people remember Mirage as the villain who eventually switched sides and helped Mr. Incredible. But here's what everyone missed, and it makes the whole Incredibles story way darker. At the start of The Incredibles, Bob Parr wasn't just a superhero, he had an entire crew. And if you look closely at his and Elastigirl's wedding, you can actually spot several of them in the crowd. There's even a deleted scene from Incredibles 2, showing Bob at a cafe with Frozone, Gazerbeam, and Gamma Jack. They were that close, so close that Bob named his youngest son Jack Jack, after Gamma Jack himself. Yes, that Gamma Jack, the same one later killed by Syndrome. And that Gazerbeam, the one whose skeleton Bob finds on the island, that was his friend. So when Mr. Incredible uncovered the truth about Operation Kronos, all those supers Syndrome had hunted down and killed, those weren't strangers on a list. Those were the people at his wedding, his closest friends. And the real question that the movie never fully answers, who lured each of them to the island in the first place? Comment if you'll never watch The Incredibles the same way again. Number 7. Turning Red hid. 7 Pixar Easter eggs, and most people missed all of them. Are you ready to have your mind broken by a background detail? Because Turning Red is basically a Pixar Easter egg museum, and almost nobody noticed. Walk into the convenience store with May. There's triple dent gum on the shelf, the exact gum commercial that Riley from Inside Out cannot stop singing in her head. Then look at Miriam's skateboard. There's a Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger sticker on it, and next to it, a sticker of Socks, the robot cat from Lightyear, which wasn't even released yet when Turning Red came out. When May runs from her mom through the street, she flies past the Pizza Planet truck from Toy Story. The boy band in the movie is called 4 Star Town, but if you go back and rewatch Luca, there's already an Easter egg referencing them on a vinyl record, which would mean 4 Times Town has existed for over 60 years in the Pixar universe. At the temple, May says a phrase that is a direct reference to Bart and Lisa from The Simpsons. And finally, the number A113 appears somewhere in every single Pixar movie without exception. In Turning Red, it appears in the credits on a 4 Times Town concert ticket. 7 Easter eggs, 1 movie, 0 people noticed in real time. Subscribe if you're rewatching Turning Red tonight. Number 8. What if the hero of this story was the one who destroyed everything? This is the theory that broke my brain, and I genuinely don't know how to feel after figuring it out. Before Joe ever arrived, the forest had its own perfect system. Tree wolves hunted, creatures survived, nature stayed balanced. Everything worked. Then Joe showed up with magical pods that could swap identities between animals. At first, it looked like a miracle, but those pods destroyed the food chain. Predators stopped hunting naturally, territories collapsed, the entire ecosystem fell apart. The tree wolves, pushed to the edge of extinction, transformed into fire wolves, not to attack, to take back their home. And here's the part that wrecked me. Joe claimed he was trapped by the dam the whole time, but the moment Ollie became Joe, he destroyed that dam in seconds. If Joe could leave at any time, why did he stay? Why did he let the forest burn? The hero of this story brought the pods, broke the food chain, forced the wolves to transform, and could have left before any of it happened. Was Joe the villain the entire time, or is there an even darker truth we missed? Number 9. Why Kai is actually the weakest Kung Fu Panda villain. Kung Fu Panda has some of the best villains in animated movie history. And then there's Kai. Tai Lung trained his entire life believing he was destined to be the Dragon Warrior. When Oogway denied him, it shattered him. His anger came from betrayal, from love twisted into something destructive. You understood him. You almost felt sorry for him. That's what made him terrifying. Shen feared his own destiny. He tried to escape a prophecy and ended up fulfilling it anyway. His fear of becoming a monster made him do monstrous things. He was intelligent, complex, haunted. Every scene with Shen felt like watching a tragedy already in motion. And then there's Kai. His backstory: he was once Oogway's ally, and then one day he just decided he wanted more power. That's it. No betrayal that broke him, no fear driving him, no personal loss that twisted his path, just greed. We never see why he became evil. No emotional journey, no scene that made you understand him. Just a guy who wanted to be stronger. Tai Lung made you feel, Shen made you think, Kai just made you wait for the fight to be over. Subscribe if you think Tai Lung deserved a better ending than he got. Number 10. What if Dopey from Snow White grew up to become Geppetto? This theory destroyed me, and the more evidence I found, the more I couldn't unsee it. Look at the 7 dwarfs. They all look almost identical. Same wrinkled face, same white beard, same loud personality. Every single one of them, except Dopey. Dopey is younger. Dopey has only one tooth. He wears oversized clothes like they don't belong to him. He never speaks. He acts like a child, not a dwarf who's lived for centuries, but a child who somehow ended up living with them. What if Dopey was never actually a dwarf? What if he was a human boy, raised by dwarfs in the forest, who never fully understood where he came from? And what if, years later, Dopey realized he didn't belong? He left the forest. He moved to a village. He became obsessed with woodworking, with building things with his hands, the way his dwarf family always taught him. He built clocks, he built toys, he built puppets, and he built one puppet more than anything else, because Geppetto and Dopey have the same eyes, the same nose, the same clumsy, childlike energy, even the same lost, gentle expression. Geppetto wasn't just building a wooden boy because he was lonely. He was trying to recreate the normal childhood he never had. As the only human boy in a house full of dwarfs who never spoke and never quite fit in, Dopey didn't disappear after Snow White. He grew up and spent the rest of his life trying to feel like a real boy. Comment if this just ruined both Snow White and Pinocchio for you simultaneously. Subscribe for more movies.